I want to share with you a very simple planning tool. So everything I do as a coach is really based around the concept of the now, where, how model. So it's really important that you understand where you are now, and then where do you want to be before you jump into how are you going to get there. Now, there is a lot that we can't control right now, and so it is really important that when you're looking at your business life and your personal life, that you focus on the areas that you can control. So we are going to look at the one-page plan in a moment, and this can be used for your business goals and for your personal goals. And in fact, I do encourage some people, business owners and business leaders, to put some personal goals on their own plan, which also has their business goals in there as well, as it is really powerful to see them both together. And you are one person, you've got one life, and it's important that you view yourself as a collective whole, and that you've got your personal goals sitting there visually on your own plan for your business and for your personal life as well. So if you look at the one-page planning document, and this is where the now, where, how comes into play. So what we effectively do is we start looking at the now. And I'm just using some typical examples. These are, fairly common in the businesses that I work with. Now, you can go into a lot of detail in the now, and often, in fact, I do with businesses. But just for the purposes to demonstrate how the plan works, I'm just picking up on a few examples. So looking at the now, sales are flat, morale is low, margins are weakening, and management is just too busy to tackle some of these issues. What you then do is you then look at, well, where do you want to be? So sales are flat, so you need to look at, so we're going to need to increase sales by 10 to 15%. Low morale, we need to get employee satisfaction up to 80%. Margins are weakening, so we need to get margins a bit more consistent. Management's too busy, right? Okay, well, we need them to be time focused, their time to be focused on value creating activities. Now, again, you can go into a lot more detail on the where. And what you would see here was also your purpose and your vision in here, and you'd also see some other key financials. Again, just for the purposes of this, I'm just trying to keep it really simple. You would then look onto, your key strategies and how are you going to get to where you want to be. So, okay, we need to increase sales. We need to identify and look at staff engagement. We need an efficiency drive, and we need some coaching for management, potentially around sort of time management. So for increasing sales, what would we start with? Well, we could start with a sales brainstorming meeting. Now, within each of the sections here on the action items, you'd probably see 3 or 4 actions. But again, for the purposes of today, I'm just focusing on one. So again, for staff engagement, you'd perhaps start with a staff survey. Efficiency drive, you'd maybe look to conduct a waste audit to really focus on profitability and trying to get that consistency around your margins. And then on the coaching side, you might want to look at one-to-one coaching sessions for your management team. And then it's really about, perhaps the most important element is, when do you need some of these activity completed by? And then crucially again, who is going to complete these? Now, as I said, you will have more than one action for each strategy, but what it's about is thinking, what do we need to do first? And then what do we need to score off the list to bring in the next action to keep moving things forward, so that you really start to achieve, where you want to go, and it gets you where you want to be. So, a staff survey is not going to solve staff engagement, but it could be the first action on your list of 3 there. And at every point, what you do is you just keep on scoring things off your action list and adding new ones in. So it's really important that you keep your plan short, that you keep them focused, and you keep scoring off those actions to ensure you get to where you want to be. Spend more time working on the planning and less time on the plan itself. And it's really important to note that a good plan implemented well always beats a perfect plan shoved in a drawer.